For the following data, A. Display the data in a scatter plot. B. Calculate the sample correlation coefficient R. And C. Make a conclusion about the type of correlation. Use technology. The altitudes in thousands of feet and speeds of sound in feet per second at these altitudes are shown in the data set below. So left click this icon to open up the data set. Since we want to use technology, we will left click this double blue icon, and we can either copy it to a clipboard, open in Excel, or open in StatCrunch. We will open it in StatCrunch. So we left click open in StatCrunch. And now we have the data set in StatCrunch. First thing we're going to do is left click graph. Then we will left click scatterplot. We're going to select our variables. So one of the things to keep in mind is that this thing has already got the variable set up as in altitude, which is our x, and speed of sound is our y. So the x variable, we'll select altitude x. The y variable, we will select speed of sound y. And then we will left click compute. You do not need to worry about any of the other things in this particular menu. And this gives us our scatter plot. And now we simply need to look for a scatter plot that looks exactly like this. So let's minimize that. We'll close that. And we note that D is the scatter plot. And I'll bring that back up just so that you can see it. And now you see that our scatter plot that we've created in StatCrunch looks exactly like graph D. So we'll minimize this. Now, in order to maximize, you'll notice that there are some icons down here in the lower left. If you left click that, that brings your icon back up. So we'll minimize that. We will left click check answer. And we have completed that. The next thing we want to do is find the R, which is our correlation coefficient. The easiest way to do this is once again with StatCrunch. We don't need the graph anymore, so we will minimize that or close it out. Left click stat, and then we are going to highlight regression and then highlight simple linear. Left click that. Once again, we will select altitude x as our x variable and speed of sound y as our y variable. I do not need to worry about anything else in this menu. We'll just left click compute, and we have this pop-up window that shows up. Now, right here in the pop-up window is your correlation coefficient. You do need to round it to 3 decimal places, so this will be negative 0.975, and that's what we will enter in here. And now we can come over here and left click check answer, and we have the correct correlation coefficient. And now we need to make a conclusion about the type of correlation. Well, if we look at this, this has a very strong negative correlation, or a strong, or I should say a negative strong correlation, however you want to word it. This says strong negative, so that's what we will choose. Check answer. And we have completed the problem using technology.